You must be the new applicant.
Yes.
Come in. Go ahead and take a seat over here, please. So I understand you said that you're unhappy with your current lifestyle.
Yeah, I work really long hours and it's just very tiring. I feel like I'm not doing anything helpful and I'm just unhappy, you know?
A lot of our applicants feel the same way as you do. That's why they come to us. I'm sure at least that's somewhat aware of what we do here at Walden Two. But just to make sure, we have a video prepared for all of our applicants. So if you wouldn't mind watching it.
Hello and welcome to Walden Two. Are you sad with your current life? Working long hours, little to no time for yourself? Is your work your life and not in a good way? Do you feel jealous of others' achievements and possessions? Are your children disobedient and you have no clue how to handle them? If any of these questions struck a chord with you, well, you're not alone. Here at Walden 2, many of our applicants have felt very similar to you. Thankfully, we can help fix it.
Let's think of a hypothetical you. For instance, this is you currently before Walden 2. You look very unhappy, you also look tired and dissatisfied.
This is why you're unhappy. You're working long hours with little job satisfaction. You don't have any time to yourself to pursue your hobbies and relax. You're not learning and doing what you want. Ultimately, your environment is not allowing you to prosper as a person. It's stifling.
This is what you will look like if you continue to live in your current environment. You will continue to be unhappy and you'll end up being dissatisfied with your work to pleasure ratio. You worked far too much on things you didn't like and therefore didn't spend time on things you enjoyed. In order to prevent this outcome, we'll introduce the concept of Walden 2. Everyone is given the same environment, so we all have the same opportunity to prosper.
At Walden 2, you'll be able to work not for money, but for credits that will go towards the resources you'll receive. A great deal of time is wasted outside of Walden 2 because of the 8-hour workday. During the second half of those 8 hours, people are less productive and therefore this system wastes everyone's resources and time. People also work worse when working for a boss rather than themselves or for a group as a whole who benefits equally. Because of this, here at Walden 2, we work on a labor credit system where no one is paid and all services and goods are free. We only ask that you work anywhere from 2 to 6 hours a day to receive our minimum 4 labor credits. The way you can work anywhere between 2 to 6 hours a day is because more pleasant jobs like gardening are worth less credits than unpleasant jobs like janitorial jobs. So although jobs may be worse, you can get done a lot quicker and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. Or you can spend 6 hours a day doing something you really enjoy and earn your credits that way. Plus, you're able to choose your job each day, and as long as it does not require a specialization like medicine. But either way, you're enjoying yourself for most of the day.
Another benefit at Walden 2 is that everyone learns at their own pace. For example, if you have a child, they are not restricted by the barriers of kindergarten, first grade, and so forth. They can learn as fast or as slow as they want and need in order to be as successful as they can be. They're also taken care of by everyone in the community. This is to make sure that no child is left out due to their circumstances, like being born to poor parents. There are no poor parents in Walden 2. Everyone who takes care of the children are highly qualified to raise them, and they make sure that they behave exactly as they should. We remove their jealousy and teach them patience and discipline, all through behaviorism. If you're accepted to Walden 2 and you feel that you do not have a lot of patience or that you can get jealous relatively often, don't worry, we can help catch you up to the natives relatively quickly by using our behaviorism methods.
Now, if you're wondering what this behaviorism is, it's relatively simple. Behaviorism can be defined as the theory that human and animal behavior can be explained in terms of conditioning without appeal to thoughts or feelings, and that psychologically disorders are best treated by altering behavior patterns. For example, one way we achieve patience and discipline in our children is with a simple lollipop example. We start this training at about age 3 or 4, and the first thing we do is we give each of them a lollipop, and we tell them that they can eat the lollipop later in the day if it hasn't already been licked. We can tell that it's been licked if the powdered sugar on the lollipop dissolves with the saliva. Of course, this is a hard task for young kids, so what you do to stop the child from licking is by adding the sugar. But maybe you're thinking we put it out of sight. This is a fine solution in the short term, but concealing a tempting but forbidden object is a crude solution. We want a type of psychological concealment, covering up the candy by paying no attention to it. So to accomplish this, we work in steps.
Step 1 has already been mentioned, but step 2 is urging the children to examine their own behavior while looking at lollipops. This helps them recognize the need for self-control. Step 3 is concealing the lollipops. The children are asked if they notice any gain in happiness or any reduction in tension. Then we introduce a strong distraction like a game. After the distraction, the children are reminded of the candy and asked to examine their reaction again. Generally, the children realize the value of the distraction as they are no longer longing for the lollipop during the game. When the experiment is repeated a day or so later, the children all run to their lockers themselves to hide their lollipops. They learn the method of out of sight, out of mind. Finally, in the later experiment, the children wear the lollipops around their necks for a few hours. They learn self-discipline by working up from having to hide the temptation physically to having to hide it mentally.
So now that you know some of our main ideas at Walden 2, if you adhere to them, this will be you in your new environment. As you can see, you're very happy. You feel better because you're helping yourself and others, and you have more time to pursue your interests like art, reading, writing, and really anything. With an introduction to Walden 2, your environment has changed drastically, and therefore your behavior has too.
If you live in a bad environment, then your behavior will be negative, but if you live in a positive environment like Walden 2, your behavior will be much more positive and your quality of life will improve.
So won't you come and join us at Walden 2?
So, do you feel informed about Walden 2 now?
Yes, definitely.
From your behavior, I can guess that you really enjoyed the video itself. You were sitting forward in your seat. Your eyes didn't seem to wander from the video at all.
Yes, I thought the concept seemed really interesting. I'm definitely still interested in Walden 2, if that's what you're asking, especially the whole working less but being more productive aspect.
All right, great. So now that you know a little bit more about what you're getting into, let's get started with the actual interview.